Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are watching Married at First Sight Australia Season 10, Episode 13, which was written right in front of my notes, right until you deleted them for me, Chris. So I just had to pause for a second. Yeah, definitely. We are on 13. Chris, oh my word. Where would you like to start today?
I don't know where the hell to start. I'll be honest. Anybody who watched this episode, Dave, I'm being completely honest now, before we get into our usual, breaking it all down and that, I've got to say, I think there's going to be a lot of people out there and it'll be like PTSD and not in a good way. Because some of the stuff on tonight's episode, fucking hell, it was draining watching it. Don't get me wrong, I've got notes and we'll go through it, but there was bits there where I was like, there's going to be some poor people watching this going, I've been in this situation. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. So I just think if you've not seen this episode, not just because I think this is the best episode of reality TV I've ever seen, Dave, at this point, it was just unbelievable, the episode. My jaw was on the floor, so for honestly, for 20 minutes, we just got the usual thing, the table setting, didn't we? We'd had like Claire and Jesse, they're getting along. Then we get fucking Bronte and Harrison, who I don't give a fuck about, if I'm being honest, Dave. But they sort of go through them, Sandy and Dan.
God. Sorry, just on Bronte and Harrison, I mean, he's a tool, right? And I thought he got off pretty easily, to be honest. I mean, they were asking him about the whole taking the girl's number and whatever. Do you think that's a breach of trust? And he kind of agreed to that. And Bronte's just like, yeah, it's fine. It happens. And I'm just like, you can't make it any more obvious that you don't really care. That's the thing behind it. So, if she actually gave a shit about him, then she wouldn't have that same reaction. And I think that's why, around the room, some of the other couples and that are a bit puzzled by her reaction and thinking, why are you acting like that? Well, I'll fucking tell you. She don't give a shit. She just loving being on TV and what will come after it.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a great place to start. Yes, you're totally right. I mean, they were pretty much the second couple in. We had Jesse and Claire, saying they're attracted to each other. They haven't physically got together, but there's a massive connection. What a turnaround, Dave. They look so happy. However,
steady.
Now, when I say they look happy, I mean they look happy in this episode, David. So, but for what we're talking about, I was pleased with him, great. And then it goes Bronte and Harrison. And now John had said at the start, we, pretty much nobody's leaving here without held accountable for what they've done, and we're going to get to the bottom of it, right? Now, I've got a little bit of a proposal here, Dave. Now, obviously, there was the slight, communication with good old Mr. Smooth, Paul, on the UK one, Dave. I think he should be booted off. And I think John should be on the UK one. Because I tell you what John brings. He brings a staleness to the other people on the panel. I know Mel does the UK one as well, and Alessandra doesn't. But he brings a steel, which also makes the judges...
Not fucking judges.
I know, well, experts. It's not fucking X Factor, is it? Whatever you want to call them. But
8.5.
It's a 7. It's a 7 from Len. But he brings a different kind of dynamic. He actually holds people accountable, whereas Paul's like, fucking Matt's there cheating on fucking Gemma. He's been an absolute tool in the UK one, and he's like, hey, man, don't do that again. He's like, fuck off, kick the fucking...
Love will win the day.
Exactly. What a guy. It's like, no, Paul, he's a fucking cock. Get rid of him. So I think one thing I've got to say, I think John, they all did, all three of the experts were, I know they come judges, experts were great tonight. I thought Alessandra started it off. She doesn't like Harrison. And, when they were talking to Bronte, I'm with you, the dynamic of her is just bullshit. It's so fake. And by the end of their sort of dissection, by Alessandra mainly, because she shut Harrison off and he hated it. She's like, let her speak. He hated that. But when John laid into him as well, And I think what got me is she then, like, this whole, oh, it's fine. He's a great looking guy. I expect it. Like you said, why don't you just say, I don't really care. I'm only here for the fame. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, because really, I'm not even bothered about it. And I didn't buy any of that shit between them. But again, I thought that was going to be the peak of this episode, Dave, and I was wrong, my friend. But anyway, what did you think of that whole interaction?
Yeah, like I say, I just thought she showed her hand that she just didn't care. You know, she might have done for about a millisecond, but even from that first episode, it all seems so staged with a friend and that. And of course, these voicemails have come out. I don't think they knew it was Harrison himself, but, you know, they were sort of theorizing on how they'd react if that was the case. So, yeah, it's just... Look, it's a fucking normal reaction to say, what the fuck? Do you think that's normal? Like, to fucking get a girl's number. We're supposed to be in this. We're supposed to be married. It doesn't mean you have to, like, string him up or anything. But, you know, it's normal, surely, to question it. And the fact that she does not give a fuck, I think just makes you question, well, why are you here at all? If it's anything other than the fame. And there's nothing, is there?
No, and I've started off, Dave, the maths translation book. I've only got the first line, and Bronte came up with the first line. Obviously, they're speaking English. I know they're on the other side of the world, and they have slang that we don't in the UK. But I've basically broke down what she says. So when John was saying it, and she says, "I'm very insecure, Dave," in the Chris Phelps translation book for maths, that actually means is, I'm so fucking desperate to say in this show, I'll take anything that he does as normal, as long as I'm here till the end and I can get all them deals at the end of it. What a crock of shit that was. Absolute crock of shit.
That's the thing, isn't it? Honestly, Chris, that made it worse, because she's saying, oh, yeah, I know I need to work on my own insecurities. It's like, well, you're not fucking showing it. You are basically acting as if you are you are Helen of Troy. You know, you are basically untouchable. So why the fuck should you be worried about Harrison getting someone else's phone number? Don't give us that you're working on your insecurities. So yeah, I forgot about that bit. That just made it even worse for me.
Yeah, and then it was Harrison again doing the old gaslight. Turns around to her and goes, "Well, I'm starting to see the girl I met at the wedding." What?
That was awful, that speech, wasn't it?
Fucking hell. What? And then John was...
He basically put everything on her.
Yeah, again.
That was terrible. And again, she's like, yeah, don't give a fuck, me. So, yeah, I actually think she's actually perfectly suited for him, because if he was with someone who actually gave a shit, it would become very, very toxic and not entertaining as such. It'd be like, fucking hell, he's doing some real damage there. So the fact that she doesn't care is a net positive for this show. But yeah, just
fucking brilliant.
He continues to raise the bar on gaslighting, doesn't he? In terms of, you know, just talking about this reality that we do not see 1% of.
Yeah, and I know when this week when Joe was on and she was saying about some of the girls and their behaviour on Love Island, she said, "Is that what guys think?" And I'm thinking, no, Joe, don't worry about it. Some of the guys' behaviour is far fucking worse, and this for me, it's unbelievable with what Harrison's doing. And he's not the only one, and we'll get into that. And I know we've got it flip it on the other side with the girls as well. But it's mainly blokes do this sort of shit, Dave, especially on these shows. They get found out. And he's just a horrible, horrible guy, Harrison. And it's not going to end well. It's going to carry on. I mean, like you said, the other contestants were more outraged than her. Claire laid into her. She went, there's intent behind words with you. There's intent behind you getting the number. And it's like, why have you done it? He couldn't answer it. And John's like, but there's a pattern here. You know, you've got to earn a trust in that. And I'm just thinking, John, you're wasting your fucking time, my friend, because he's going to do this again.
It's like he's done the chivalrous thing. I am going to be a total gentleman because I don't want to hurt the girl's feelings. You know, she's asked me for my number. I'm not going to give her my number, but I don't want to hurt her feelings. So I'll simply get her number and then not call her. Oh, well, that's fucking great then, isn't it? What about if she does actually think you're going to call? Fucking dick. Honestly, like I say, it's just good that she doesn't care.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Any normal person would be off. I totally agree. Now, the next bit, Dave, led into Dan and Sandy. We got the little bit of it. I mean, it's still classic watching fucking Harrison negotiate that room. I know they didn't show the full conversation again, but the fact that he blamed it on Dan, and then as soon as Dan found out, he pulls Dan and just tries to smooth it over. It's one of the greatest things I've seen in a long time. It's just like, but the only thing I'd say, right, John, he went at him, but they saw what he did. Yeah. And they were saying we're going to have him, and they didn't. And I've got to say, Shannon's a despicable person. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I thought John doesn't like Shannon as much as he likes Harrison or something, because Harrison seemed to get off, like you said, pretty leniently, really.
They film these things for a long time, don't they? So it could be that it's just not in the edit. I mean, maybe. Christ, there was no fat in this episode, was there? No. Everything they showed, you know, the couples that are getting on, right, great, jog on, let's get you off it.
We said the same, me and Sam. I was like, fucking Duncan and, is it Alyssa? Where they just
Alyssa,
went,
yeah.
Oh, well done, Ollie.
You're having great sex. Yeah. Brilliant. Off you go.
Ollie and the other girl, it was like, see you, well done, we don't care, you're happy, that's not what this is about, fucking go and sit down over there. It's like, no, that's what it's about. Loved it.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. But Chris, I mean, we've got to get into, I mean, Dan and stuff said his piece, and Sandy, you know, she let it be known that she's not happy with Harrison at all. Brilliant. But Josh and Melissa, fucking hell. I didn't quite see what was going to unfold here. No. And this is where, you know, I was watching it between my fingers, you know, got my fingers over my eyes like, shit. And she just kept digging that hole and just saying these horrible, hurtful things. And then, you know, he gets all upset. The judges, you've got me doing it now. The fucking experts, like, points out the fact she's saying all this horrible shit, and then she says more horrible shit. Chris, what did you make of that bit?
Disgusting. I thought this was one of the worst bits I've ever seen on reality TV, for just feeling so sorry for Josh. I wanted to go in the screen and hug him, Dave. And you know what, Dave? I've got to say, Claire pulled Jessie at the start of this show, at the start of the series, for going shush, shush. You know what, Dave? Me and Sam were watching it, got shushed twice. Well, I'm outraged. I'm having a word with Mel and John and Ollie. Shushed twice because we were trying to dissect it. But yeah, honestly, Sam was like, he's going to cry. I was like, you're joking. No. And honestly, I watched it. It was the dialogue. I'm the more dominant, you know, I'm the alpha. But when he
what started it, though, wasn't it?
And she's played it off, hasn't she? Like he said, she played me off like I'm some like 40-year-old virgin. So at that point, I'm laughing. I'm like, yeah, she has played you like that. And he said, we've been into it for the last 2 days. As soon as he started going, she's restricting my TV time, my mobile, my books, who we can talk to, questioning my manhood. I'm like, holy shit. And the whole room was silent. The girls were sobbing. And he actually said one of the greatest, like he said, well, put it this way, guys, if the boot was on the other foot, you'd be fucking outraged. And he would, you know what, he would be in the papers, he would be absolutely torn to pieces in social media, everything, if that was the case. I'm not digging anyone out, but what he said was so right, and I felt so fucking sorry for him. And like you said, the more she talked, the more shit it got. And what got me is when he cried and stormed off and the guys like hugging him, she just went, there, and touched his arm like that's going to make it all better. I'm like, you horrible, horrible woman. And you could see she'd been rumbled. She didn't think he had the bottle to fucking say it on the telly, but he said it. I'm genuinely, bravo, Dave. I fucking clapping now. What a very brave guy that he was to do all that.
Yeah. I am going to get serious in a sec because it is a very serious thing. Yeah. But honestly, when he said, when he was talking about getting intimate, and he said about, well, we've been intimate the last 2 days or something. all I could think of was our little role play.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, get your dick out. And he was like, look, I've had it out 5 times today. Little did we know how accurate that was. I mean,
he did, yeah.
He was saying, I mean, I'm sure, yeah, was it on the Sunday? And he was saying they'd done it on the Friday and the Saturday.
Yeah.
I was fucking crying at that bit. But then it took a sinister turn, didn't it? When he starts talking about all the things that she's restricting. And she did not bat an eyelid. She didn't deny it. She's not like, whoa, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, fucking hell, this is incredibly controlling. And he's right. Had that been the other way round, fucking hell, like, we would be going nuts.
Yeah.
And I couldn't quite process it as he was saying it. You know, I was kind of watching it and trying to listen to what he was saying, but then I'm thinking, fucking hell, is she systematically emasculating him? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Because it seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's awful. And Duncan even says it, doesn't he? He said the definition of a man is not, and he goes through it, like basically it's not just about the sex or anything about that. And they all said like what a great guy he is. And
yeah.
it was John just turned around and went, what has possessed you to tell us this to the group?
Well, that was the thing to the so there was all that stuff, and then she was saying about she feels like the alpha, and you know, so that's the words that she was choosing were deliberately emasculating. But then I think it was when she starts saying about fucking the sex is just transactional. Yeah. You know, there's no emotional connection or anything there. Chris, you know, from the first episode when they had the hen party and stuff, you wonder what her weekend habits were, and it's like, well, maybe you just, you know, maybe he can't compete. You know, maybe he's just wanting to be having a loving embrace rather than being in the middle of a bukkake pie.
What's one of them, Dave?
I don't know.
For fuck's sake, don't research that.
I think
we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
That Vanilla Club.
We are in trouble.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Oh my word. Right. So, just the things. Oh fuck! Oh, I'm gone. Oh.
Fucking hell. Well, the podcast has been great while it lasted, everyone.
If you'd like to sponsor us, email us at cdrealitycast@gmail.com. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh man.
What is?
Oh dear. As Chris said, don't Google that.
Google what then?
Yeah, I can't even remember. Oh man.
Right, get fucking back on track.
So get back to being serious again.
Get your dick out.
Oh.
Right, stop it now. Come on, stop it now.
She oh. Right.
It's serious now. It's serious. Come on.
She chose deliberately hurtful words. Oh, can you imagine if we were actually doing this live?
You made me fucked up, right? Come on. I have got tears down my face. Right, come on. On the game now. I'm back in now.
Oh, my word. So, yeah, we might have to move on from these two. But she was using deliberately hurtful words, wasn't she? She was doing it to intentionally hurt him, which we'll come back to later because someone else does that as well. I don't mean hurt him in a good way.
You've been laughing at this bit. I was dead sad. Right, come on. Compose yourself. So, I agree. It was... it was when... Right, we need to... Dave. Stop it. No, right.
I am chilled as a newt now.
Okay. So, let's get back in the game. No, because genuinely, I do what I do. I'm like laughing there, but I can't even see the screen now for tears. Right, so we're back in it. I genuinely thought with Josh, he was gone. As soon as he got up and the guys come, I thought, he's not coming back. But I've got to say, Dave, we always say, stay, leave, whoever. As soon as someone says stay, that couple's staying. And I was thinking, is it because there's a financial thing with Josh? You know, because even though there's no way she'll put up with that with her, she's been horrible, and just there was no remorse. She just sat there like, oh shit, the game, I'm rumbled it. I don't know what the hell I can do. But fair play, they went, no, it's up to you. And he said, when he said I want to see my kids and started going there, proper lump in the throat.
Oh God,
it's awful, absolutely awful. And it's just like she was staring, and then she's like, I didn't even realise. And these pathetic touches on him and everything. You could see he was just like, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Dave, Harrison and Shannon have been the bad guys. Melissa has plodded through this by putting her hobnail boots into everything, saying the wrong stuff, everything. When this come out, I was like, she's as bad as them, if not worse as well. It was just, it was an awful scene. That was so horrible.
Yeah, I don't know if she's not been as consistently bad.
No.
I mean, I guarantee all the interviews will come out about how she's had a bad edit, Chris, like Olivia had a bad edit. You know, all those things, they were just Frankenbites all glued together to make them look bad. No, this was all just pretty horrible. And I agree, it got you right in the feels, didn't it? When he was talking about, I want to go home to see my kids. And I have to say, you know, when he was struggling to hold it together, fuck me, your heart just tore apart, didn't it? And I did actually like. I mean, we've been digging out Harrison and mainly Harrison and Shannon, but I noticed that, you know, when Josh got up, Harrison was there. Shannon might have been as well, but I didn't see. Sorry, I'm still
gone now.
Yeah, so I did appreciate, you know, they were all up there to support him. I did think Duncan said the best thing, you know, about it's absolute bullshit. This perception of what you're talking about is not a man. Like, you know, they were fully in Josh's corner. But Chris, I mean, having seen that, and then, you know, he says he needs to leave, and Melissa says, oh, yeah, I was going to leave, and then I wrote stay. And, you know, I love the torture that this show brings, that when one of them says stay, the other one has to stay. And they're like, oh, you bastards. You know, but at this occasion, I'm like, oh, surely you can't. Mate, he's been, properly emotionally abused, it seems like,
Yeah.
and you can't keep him in that environment. So I did appreciate, that John was saying they're going to do this thing that they've never done before and give you the choice. And so I'm so glad that he did. And for a split second, I'm thinking, I wonder, does she really want to make a go of
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, fucking don't, Josh. Just cut the cord. But he had no hesitation at all. He was, yeah, I'm gone. I want to leave. And I was so happy for him, to be honest.
Yeah, I was. It was one of the moments. And I also, Dave, I was like, she doesn't deserve to be on this show anymore. And she, like you say, if it was just him making it up and lying or whatever, she'd have gone in fully and said, how dare you? Because I would have. If I knew someone was lying like that, you would be. So anybody, naturally, she didn't have. And what gave her away was her eyes. She didn't have a clue what to say. She was lying her ass off. When they actually asked her to head on, she didn't know what to say. She couldn't look at him. Her eyes were flickering and everything. It was just like, that is the biggest telltale sign. So, yeah, well played, Josh. And I hope that when he got home, he gave his kids a big hug because it was like, this is not the place for you, mate, at all. What a lovely guy. And he was lovely all the way through, wasn't he? But to be honest, Dave, I've got to be consistent with this. The fucking experts created this problem. Fucking absolute. Why would you think that these two would be compatible? Absolute nonsense. So they're partly to blame as well. Fucking ridiculous.
Well, I don't know. I mean, some of the hindsight stuff, you can imagine. I'm going to make a bit of an excuse because I do think most of the time they just want to fuck with people for our entertainment.
Yeah.
On the face of it, similar ages, look, coming out of previous relationships, could they have a positive influence on each other? If you stand 10,000 foot away from it, you can see that this could work. But yeah, I mean, it did seem pretty obvious from early on that it wasn't. So you'd think, well, if you've had like X number of interviews with these people, surely, you would have seen that wouldn't work either. But yeah, I just feel sad and just hope he was already kind of not in a good place, it seemed, from his previous marriage, and he was questioning himself and he was questioning, is he good enough and stuff. And so to put him with her, who's just absolutely fucking validating all of the negative thoughts, all of those fleeting negative thoughts that we probably all have at some point, but when you're going through bad times, they amplify, and then you've got her amplifying it as well. So yeah, just I'm not going to throw the experts under the bus too much for this one. And like I say, I was just happy that they actually booted him off and they didn't do a fucking poll. And it's like, oh, you see, Josh, she's really committing to this. Let's do it for love.
Yeah. I agree. And I think going into like the next main one, we got Cameron Lindell. He mentioned about the Shannon stuff and all that, and that was pretty much boxed off. And then they were happy then, weren't they? It's like they got through it like adults. Because I thought Cam come off as a bit of a dick with his reaction, but I agree with what you said as well. I take a stand. He was taking a stance like it's nothing to do with us. Just leave it, and they were actually proved to be wrong with that. However, Caitlin and Shannon. Now, Dave, I think you owe a massive apology to our listeners because you were raving about Shannon on the first episode. How your eyes.
Fuck off. What was it you were saying?
Lost in his eyes, I think I said.
Something about him being a great guy.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen, that is my one error for this season, and it was a hell of an error because when they interviewed Caitlin at the start of the show, her dialogue was basically, he's been an absolute wanker to me, but I think, the way she was framing it was like, I'm staying, right? So I owe her a massive apology, Dave, because I was like, right, she's going to stay. There's no validation to this. He's going to carry on being an absolute knob, and it keeps going. Well, one of the kids, I can't remember who it was, I think it might have been Claire, went, where's the popcorn? Here we go. You know what I mean? Dave, Shannon is an awful guy. There's something going on there. He's got, I don't know if he can grow up. He's fucking 30 now. He's got a kid. it's like there's something off with this guy. And John laid into him, and I'm so happy he did. It was like she then went through the stuff he said. I didn't buy any of his apology. I didn't buy any of the things he said. It was so insincere. Some of the tea that we've heard off people who know him was like, this is all part of his remit. He's me. And all he was asked about was staying in the show. And I think that's what John was doing. He was framing the questions to say, so you've treated her like this all week, but you want to stay. What is going on here? And he laid into, paraphrase, but he laid into him and was like, fair play there, John. He's fucking right. It's like, you're just there for the fucking clicks, mate. You're absolute, what a fucking narcissistical prick he is. And he's fucking Tintin haircut can fuck off now, Dave. I was praising it the first week. He can fucking do one.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it? Because they'd been through all that stuff, all the shitty things that he said. I mean, it never gets any easier when you hear it again. You're a good-looking girl, just not to me. And if I'd have turned round and been wowed on my wedding day, that stuff with my ex wouldn't have happened at all. I mean, these are, you said about Melissa, this is up there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
This is on par. This is equally designed, words chosen to just fucking hurt the other person. No other reason whatsoever. You're not just having a chat. You're not just coercing and being clumsy with your words. Those words are designed to land and be fucking hurtful. And like I say, we've heard them multiple times, and retold multiple times, but it never gets any fucking easier. And I like the way that Paul just kept going at him. John, yeah. Who the fuck's Paul?
The UK one.
Paul, the UK one, yeah. Oh, he wouldn't have fucking had a go. So John, it just kept going on at him. It's like, why did you do that? And it kept going to like uncomfortable silences, didn't it? And then eventually he admits that like he just said it to hurt her.
Yeah.
That was it. And I like the fact that John just kept at him. He wouldn't let him move off that topic. Why did you say those things? And so I think, again, I sometimes say with these people, the shittiest people, that it is quite a luxurious position they're in, because we know these shitty people, it's not just the ones we see on reality TV, they exist all over the world, but they have the opportunity to see themselves and think, you know what, it's not fucking right, that, is it? Why do I do that? Why do I just say things to be hurtful? It's not like she was being a dick and antagonizing him or anything. He was just being a dick unprompted. So, I hope he has a good fucking long look at himself there. But honestly, Chris, when he turned round, when he's saying all these shitty things and you're thinking, oh, is he actually reflecting mentally here? But then he's just like, yeah, but, I want to stay. She's a great girl, isn't she? I'm like, oh, fuck you, you fucking dick. There's nothing sincere about that whatsoever. And then he keeps coming up with this wishy-washy stuff. And again, credit to Paul. Fucking Paul. Fuck off, Paul. Credit to John. He kept at him. He wouldn't let him go. Right, what is it you're going to do? Well, going to treat with respect, aren't I? No,
buy her flowers.
What are you actually going to do?
Yeah,
I kind of want to give her a hug, but, it doesn't seem appropriate right now. No, what are you actually going to do? And he wouldn't fucking let up on him. And so it was just so obvious. Like you say, he's just there. Bit more screen time. That is it. And the next week, he was going to subject her to the same psychological shit that he had done all the previous week. And I was getting ready to get on my high horse here, Chris, because I thought, well, hang about. You've let Josh go here. You can't fucking surely let Caitlin make Caitlin stay with this prick. And so I was glad that, again, he gave her the choice. And, I think, was it the first commitment ceremony where she actually said stay? And I'm like, oh, come on, fucking hell. There's literally nothing here for you. But, she did actually say she wanted to leave there. And then he fucks off, doesn't he? Like a little fucking bratty kid who's, had his ball taken off him. And he realises, oh, well, there we go. I've lost my screen time. Shit. Game over.
Totally agree. Everything you said. I thought she was going to say stay. And at that point, I was going to be out, Dave. I was going to do like I've done with Bronte and Harrison, when it's like, I don't care what happens now because you better fake us. If she'd have said stay, but she didn't. She delivered an amazing speech, Dave. An absolutely amazing speech, talking about her worth, all the stuff about him. He didn't like any of it. If he was genuine, he'd have turned around and apologised. Like you said, takes the ring off, makes a scene. And I wrote exactly the same thing. TV screen's over. Don't let the fucking door hit on the arse on your way out, you fucking wanker. So absolutely horrid person. And I'm so pleased for Caitlin. She deserved better. And I was wrong, Dave. I was wrong. Like you said, the last commitment ceremony, she said stay. I thought, oh, please don't go down this route. Please. I'm actually hoping that you're not going to get treated this way. I'm hoping that you're here for the real things. And she was. So fair play to her, Dave. And I was like, great. However, we then get a bit of VT for the next episode, Dave. So we get two new couples coming together, and one of the guys is so nervous, and then the lady who he marries, she's like, oh, how hard is it to get the ring? He can't get the ring, he's panicking. So we'll see what happens. It could well be nice and jovial. But then Claire pulls Jessie, Dave, and talks about the night in the pub. We said it wasn't over. What could that be, David? So let's see. I can't wait now. Again, Maths, there's so much going on with Maths. And like I said, the last couple of Love Island episodes have been great, but Maths just delivers on a different level for me. I don't know whether it's an age thing, because some of them are our age. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to Love Island. I really am. But this episode, I thought, was one of the best ones I've seen in a long time, if not one of the best ever. Just for everything. Unbelievable.
It was jam-packed, wasn't it? You're getting to the end, and honestly, it's so much of a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster. And then, like you say, it gets to the end there. And honestly, I felt like Chandler appearing from behind the door, where it's like, I knew it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we knew there was something there. Now, is it going to be what we initially thought it was? Was Claire looking at, maybe hooking up with someone else, even if it wasn't Adam? Was it someone else? Maybe, there's still this unaccounted for time, but probably it's going to be nothing. But damn you, maths editors, you are great at this. You are great at, making me think at the end of the episode, fuck me, I need a rest now. Oh shit, I have to wait for the next one.
Yeah, very good.
They are the best at it, for sure.
They are, Dave. And just before we go, we've got an email. Now, this one was sent over by Megan, but it was after the end of last week's show, Dave. So some of the things are quite relevant and I think great considering what's just happened. So this is a great email. This is quite a long one, guys, but it's a really good one. So she's analysed each couple. Josh and Melissa checked out what he deserves to be. If I got sexually harassed and feelings were overrun like that, I would never be able to come back from it. That would mentally paralyse me forever. So I don't care he's checked out. I think he deserves to be, even if it seems like he's being cold to her now. He has enough experience with her that he should be done and does not need to meet in the middle. He knows it will never work at this point. He's been sexually degraded and disrespected as a man. He seems like a sweet man who does want sex, but also wants depth and a true connection. My conspiracy theory and fondest hope is that he's the one who dips out and puts his ring on the table at the next ceremony. Well, you're not far wrong there, Megan.
Ollie was spot on there. With
spot on, actually, yeah. Ollie and Tani, cute. They seem really sweet together. Could see them at least having a year-long relationship. Jessie and Claire, impressed by their growth, but suspicious if Jessie could improve as much as he's portraying in a small bit of time. I don't know you can conquer your jealousy and issues that fully in such a short space of time. I like them together for now, but don't trust it. Lyndall and Cam, I'm ranking him below Jessie now because he should have supported her more or at least not shamed her about wanting to make sure. My vibes is they won't work out and are fully faking it for now. Harrison and Bronzy, they are an influencer show couple. They clearly have a secret deal on the side and should both go in the bin. He sucks, but she does too. Shannon and Caitlin. Firstly, Chris, what on earth dreamed about falling into Shannon's eyes? Just you? Do you still feel that after seeing him pulling his hair into place on the last episode? This is where I got the tinting bit from, actually. I assumed his tinting hair was unintentional. Only a psychopath does that on purpose. Also, did you know he was a child movie star or something? Explains a lot.
Fucking hell, I thought you were going to say something else there.
Yeah, he's absolutely vile, and his psychological abuser keeps doubling down on it over and over. Episode 12, where he's like, I'm Teflon. Can't believe I got away with this. What on earth is that? If it's true that the child was too big to be his and the other person was a cousin, why is he cackling on about getting away with it? This is why I'm not removing him from chaotic evil in my D&D grid. P.S. Now I can see that the Venn diagram with maths odds and D&D is only me. I hated how smug he was thinking he got away with shushing the girls when he was out with his cousins. My biggest disappointment in the last episode was that Caitlin was going to give him another chance. Girl, you deserve so much better. I wanted to be frustrated with her. It just makes me so sad. I hate that this will wound her forever. So, Dave, again, I mean, we've got a bit more, but again, Megan's on the money here. On Dave's comments regarding the duty of care towards Caitlin, I don't know the law of Australia, but they've definitely signed waivers, ETCs, and they also have the option of leaving and paying a fee, which I assume is a percentage of what they would be paid out and not money they have to take out of their savings. That said, I believe that if there was a physical harm, then it would be more of an obligation on production to intervene as opposed to on the experts. Mental harm is such harder to establish in court than physical harm. Assuming the experts are actually therapists, I wonder if their ethical obligation might kick in rather than a legal obligation. I would definitely feel a moral duty to her if I had any say in this. It's heartbreaking that she keeps convincing herself not to walk away from that piece of chewed up leather. So true. Brilliant email this. Sandy and Dan, okay, maybe he's innocent in this case. I don't trust him. Janelle and Adam, meh, nah, not buying it. Melinda, I now embrace her as queen and think that other lesser CEO she's with should be putting in way more effort. The experts seem like they are kicking people out next episode. If that's true, I'd like Shannon before Harrison because Bronte at least seems like she's not being severely mentally harmed by it. I'm worried it's just Josh bailing. Alyssa and Duncan, so cute, so jealous. Also, I went into a deep rabbit hole and I'm aghast and would appreciate a dedicated spoiler channel in your Discord. Great stuff, Megan. What an email, Dave. And again, absolutely on the money. A lot of her observations were on the line with what you've been saying as well, Dave. So I've got credit
clearly there. Very learned individual, Chris.
All right, Dave, there's no need for that. But it was just a great email. No, thank you, Megan. Absolutely brilliant email. As always, guys, if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at cdrealitycast. Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are nearly at 490 people over there, Dave. So we will be getting to 500, fingers crossed. So please keep going, guys. Thank you for all the support and all the new members on there. It's loads of chat as well. It's been brilliant on the channel. So thank you so much. Really, really fun times. If you do want to support us a little bit more, get over to patreon.com/cdrealitycast. So first roll call of honour for this week is Nicholas Schmade Music, Emma, Fiona, Cassie, Megan, Kate, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Gillian, Michelle, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Chloe, Noreen, Joanna, Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Luda Green, and Kent Gustafson. So thank you so much, as always, guys, for your support. Whatever happens in this episode, and we will be getting comments about it, that's all I'm going to say, okay? I had gone at points in this episode, guys. I do apologise. Unbelievable. So thank you. For fucking God's sake, don't search. And this isn't a search. Oh, I'm going to search. Don't search. That's all I'm going to say. It's enough to know.
Stop going on about it. You're making it tantalizing. Do not press this big red button.
Yeah, listen to me though. Two childish adults are talking and laughing. That's all you need to know. Anyway, Dave, what a start to the week, mate. Great episode. I think it's time for us to go.
It absolutely is. Thank you very much, sir. And thanks to everyone out there for listening. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.